Abdel Basset al-Megrahi's family have long pushed to prove his innocence. Now, 8 years after his death and more than 30 years after the Lockerbie tragedy, they've got a chance. The Scottish Criminal Cases Review Commission has decided the conviction can be referred to the High Court for appeal for the third time.
We had identified 6 grounds for referring the case to the appeal court, and the Commission has gone on to deliver a damning indictment of the process, and they believe that a miscarriage of justice may have occurred by reason of an unreasonable verdict and the ground of non-disclosure.
Pam Am Flight 103 was blown up over the Scottish town of Lockerbie in December 1988. It was en route from London to New York, and most of the 270 victims were American. The US relatives were satisfied when, in 2001, former Libyan intelligence officer Abdel Basset al-Megrahi was jailed for life for the attack. He always said he was innocent, and some Scottish victims' families have campaigned for years to clear him and find out who was involved. On Wednesday, Jim Swire, whose daughter was killed, gave a written reaction read out by his lawyer.
For me, this case is about 2 families, mine and Abdel Basset's. Behind them now are seen to lie the needs of 25 other families in applying for a further appeal 31 years after the event itself. We need the truth.
Al-Megrahi first appealed his conviction in 2002, but this was refused by Scotland's High Court. The next year, as the West started to rebuild trade ties with Libya, then leader Muammar Gaddafi accepted his country's responsibility for the bombing. He paid compensation to the victims' families. But all along, some believed there was stronger evidence Iran was behind the bombing, months after 290 died when a US warship brought down an Iranian passenger plane. In 2009, al-Megrahi dropped his appeal and was allowed to fly home on compassionate grounds. He had terminal cancer. He died in 2012. Megrahi's family have always described him as the 271st Lockerbie victim. They say his last words were about fighting for justice. Now that fight has been given a new lease of life. Nadim, Al Jazeera.